And we are back here on Couch Coach Live, another Tuesday night under the lights here on Couch Coach Live. And so I guess I got Big Kirko. He gonna be back playing again, obviously with the injury with Michael Penix. So it's about to be Kirk Cousins time in Atlanta. So what's going on, Mal?
What's up, man?
Yeah. So how's everything going, man? You just had a big birthday yesterday. Sunday. Yeah. So how was your birthday?
Oh man, it was great. I have no complaints.
That's what's up. Yeah, man.
Hmm.
We got huh?
Oh, nothing, man. You know, I went to Florida to see one of my closest homegirls. She lived in Bradenton. You know what I mean? They showed me a lot of love. Tampa Bay showed me love. You know, I have no complaints. It's one of the greatest birthdays I had, B.
For sure. Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. So yeah, this got another great show for you here on a Tuesday night. Once again under the lights. We'll talk about Ja'Marr Chase and his suspension. Shedeur Sanders made his NFL debut. We'll talk about it, and it will probably be a lot of mixed opinions about his start, but we'll dissect that. Not his start, but his debut. Then we had an interesting story that came out on Saturday where South Carolina wide receiver Nyck Harbor essentially was confronted by a state trooper. We'll talk about that. And some big news came out yesterday where James Franklin, I guess we can now officially say that James Franklin is now the new head coach at Virginia Tech. We'll kind of talk about that and round out with our game ball. So without further ado, we'll get going with our first topic of the night. We're going to talk about this Ja'Marr Chase situation. So I'm going to read you the statement from the National Football League regarding Ja'Marr Chase's suspension. So Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver Ja'Marr Chase has been suspended without pay for one game for an act of unsportsmanlike conduct during Sunday's game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. During the fourth quarter, Chase spit on Pittsburgh cornerback Jalen Ramsey, violating Rule 12, Section 3, Article 1, which applies to any act which is contrary to the generally understood principles of sportsmanship. Chase will be eligible to return to the Bengals active roster on Monday, November 24th, following the team's November 23rd game against New England Patriots. Under the collective bargaining agreement, Chase may appeal the suspension. Any appeal will be heard and decided upon by either Derek Brooks, Ramon Foster, or Jordy Nelson. The hearing officers jointly appointed and compensated by the NFL and the NFL Player Association to decide appeals of on-field player discipline. So in that, we read the statement that came out yesterday. Ja'Marr Chase has gone through the appeal process trying to get his suspension essentially reduced. What are your overall thoughts on the Ja'Marr Chase suspension? And basically, is the one game sufficient warrant? Is it sufficient warrant to what transpired with Ja'Marr Chase? What you got? What's your thoughts?
I don't understand what's the spit and stuff going on. I don't think that's cool. You know what I mean? So I definitely feel like it should be 2. I think they said he losing what, 500,000 a game or something like that. Mm-hmm. But like it shouldn't be no spitting. Like I was saying, somebody had said something about you never know. It's always been spitting in the game, which when it's a foul on anything happen. Now I think that's different. But like come on, man, like I understand, you know, emotions. And come on, man, you ain't got to be spitting on nobody. I'm not feeling that. You know what I mean? It's to me, it's no excuse. You know what I mean? You better off just smacking his helmet. You know what I mean? And I do think that I think it should be at least 2 games. One more question though. I'm trying to
Uh-huh.
figure out what's appealing. Is that just something that he should do, or because it's definitely on video that he spit?
Yeah, everybody pretty much appeals. That's pretty much kind of like the lay of the land where hey, they'll hand down suspension, but you do have the option to appeal. So pretty much anybody who essentially has been suspended have at least gone through the appeal process. So it's normal for him to appeal, even though if it's going to be questions, is it going to be upheld or will it be reduced? Matter of fact, um, Frankie Louvu, he from the Commanders, he got suspended for 1 game, and this is gonna be against the Detroit game, but he ended up appealing and just had to fine, so he was able to play against the Lions um last not 2 weeks ago against um so it's everybody can go through the appeals process. Everybody that's pretty much recommended that you go through the appeals process, which I mean makes sense.
Right, right, but definitely spit on it.
Yeah, I would say 2 games as well. But two factors. Obviously, with him pretty much telling the media that he didn't do it. In fact, that it
Hmm.
was when he was caught in what as young kids say he was caught in 4K
Hmm.
essentially in the act. So, when they asked him, hey, why, because obviously Jalen Ramsey got ejected out of the game because he swung at them. So that's another kind of factor where I'm gonna kind of bring up momentarily. And then Jalen Ramsey said he spat on me, and then obviously they're gonna ask Jamar Chase the same thing, like so he essentially lied about the infraction. So that's a part of where I think this should be add more to a suspension. And then number two, where Jalen Ramsey shouldn't have been ejected because I think if they would have caught that moment in the moment, that would have been warranted. I mean, because you got to think to yourself, Jalen Ramsey ain't just gonna be swinging on the guy. He doesn't have a history of doing that. So obviously, it's something that happened that transpired to make him do what he did. Hence, so like to me, you kicked them out for no reason because
Right.
that was justified. Because Chase should have been ejected. If you even if you wanted to get Jalen Ramsey suspended, and not suspended, but if you wanted him to be, both of them should have been ejected. Now I understood if you know, but to me, it's not fair for one party to be ejected and the other one is not. The perpetrator in this
Right.
case was able to still be on the field. So that was my biggest issue with that. Hence why I want to give him 2 days because the 2 games because of the lie in the media, and then his action forced another player to be ejected. Now, if Chase would have got ejected along with Jalen Ramsey, that's fair. And
Mm.
then this and third. So that's my stance on it. And it's just and this is like, and I understand people will say, well, the Jalen Carter situation, we had something similar to that, but Jalen Carter, the infraction was essentially the first play of the Eagles defense. So that's the first play of the game where he spat.
Mm.
So they deemed him being ejected essentially in the beginning of the game as his 1 game suspension.
Right, I
But
got you.
this infraction happened in the third quarter, so it's kind of one of those where he deserves more than 1 game for sure.
Right, everything I agree with what you're saying because you went in and definitely in detail. But man, you spit on somebody like it's a professional game. It's all I hate doing that, but it's a lot of cameras. It's a lot of money. You want a more premier stars of the league, and like you a receiver. You got. I can. I'm not even gonna do that. You gotta do better than that, man. Like you ain't supposed to be. You not supposed to be spitting on nobody. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Come on. It's really nah.
Yeah,
You shouldn't be spitting on nobody, man. That's bodily function. Like you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
stuff ain't cool. Like, and that's something like that to me. I think it should be automatically 2 games because it seemed like it's starting to happen a lot.
Right. Because I think the last time we've had, obviously outside of the um uh Carter incident in Philly, was probably what, like 1997, Bill Romanowski and JJ Stokes. Like it's almost been almost 30 years since we've had quote unquote an action of that nature where a player spat on another player.
Yeah,
Um yes, it's just crazy thing that we've had this twice in one season in what, an 11-week period in between the two. So yeah, I just it's crazy. It's, to me, and it's going to have to get to a point where if this happens again, there's going to have to be more stringent penalties, because, like, to me, more stringent as far as discipline wise, because if this happens 3 times in a year, you're like, hey, we gotta eliminate this, because all you're really doing essentially is continuing more and more and more. So,
right. And you playing a physical game already anyway, where you can be physical. You know what I
right,
mean?
right. You even got to do all that, like, right.
I mean, as a man, like, you know what I mean. Like, you already can be
Mhm.
physical. That right there, that's different. That's a whole different
Yep.
animal. You know.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna bring in X in the frame. What's going on, X?
Ain't much what's going on, fellas.
Hey, X gonna give it to you. What's up, man?
What's going on, man?
Yeah. So yeah. So we'll get you the final word on this Jamar Chase situation. We kind of talked about where, Jamar Chase is suspended for 1 game, obviously with the infraction with him and Jalen Ramsey. Uh, when Chase spat on Jalen Ramsey. Obviously, he is going through the appeals process as we speak. What's just your overall thoughts on the suspension? Are you cool with just a 1 game? Do we need more, or just your overall thoughts on the infraction?
I'm cool with the 1 game. This is this is out of his character, so I think it'll be a one off. I don't expect him to lose his cool and spin on another player going forward. But I do agree with Maui. As far I think they need to up the punishment to 2 games. And I think this is something that the NFL may need to address in the offseason as far as with the Players Association and the commissioner. I think um, a severe punishment, maybe at least a minimum of 2 games. And if it's a repeat offender, you double it up at 4 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Can I say something
Yeah.
real? Can I say something
Mhm.
real quick? The difference is this ain't the NBA, this the NFL. So 1 game actually it hits hard, not
Yeah.
just pocket, but for a team. You know what I mean? Like we're about to on this way to get in December, so every game is extremely important right now. You know what I mean? So like 2 games, that's even worse. And then think about it, if the at the end of the season they change some things and and something like this happens again and you mess around and miss like 4 games or 3, that's almost like a month, man.
Hmm.
Big, it ain't just what's in the pocket, it's how it's gonna hurt your team. You know what I mean?
And
Yeah.
I honestly feel like if the Bengals had a winning season, I don't think this would have happened.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a melting pot of everything. The season going the way it is. Chase coming off the Triple Crown last season and is definitely not putting up the same numbers as he did last year. But we all know that's due to the injury to Joe Burrow. So I think everything's just reaching this boiling point and festering over.
Yep.
So
Yeah. Yeah, because if it would have been, like you said, deemed at 2 games, and if they would have been winning, I mean, these two crucial games.
yeah,
Obviously, he missing the Patriots game this week, and then they got a short week, and they playing Because they playing.
They
Who
don't
they
have.
playing on Thanksgiving?
I
They
don't.
playing somebody. Is it? Oh, is it the Ravens playing? I think they playing. No, yeah, they all playing. They playing the Ravens on Thanksgiving.
Mm, mm.
Yeah, so you think to yourself, yeah, those would be two critical games if they do the two games, but yeah, I mean,
And
but
Joe
yeah, 'cause like
talking.
I said, yeah, he
Joe,
shouldn't come back.
Yeah, the season is lost. You just sit out,
Yeah,
continue to get healthy. Just come back next season.
yeah, because have he been on the 21-day window? Yeah, that's right. Because they just put him on like the 21-day window, right?
Yeah.
So he probably would come back in what about three? Like, well, that's what they did that like last week or a few days ago. So
Hmm.
he probably won't be back until like as he projected mid December. So I mean, at this point, ain't nothing really to play for at this point for Cincinnati. I mean,
Unless you're trying to stat pad, but I doubt if he. I don't
yeah,
think Joe's that type of player. So, and he
yeah.
already got paid. So I mean, just sit it out.
Huh. You better keep Flacco in there. Put some good film on him for the next few weeks. Get you some draft capital. Get you a little something. I mean, he may get you a 6th-round pick, a 7th-round pick, and give you something.
yeah, I think a lot of them guys ready to get out of Cincinnati, man.
Yeah, I know one thing. They need to draft somebody on that defense. And
Yeah.
but yeah, man, it's crazy. So we're gonna stay in the NFC North. We're gonna talk about Shedeur Sanders NFL debut. Um, as you know, they used to say back in the day, the performance wasn't nothing to write home about. Came in the third quarter, obviously. Dylan Gabriel had an injury. Pretty much he went 4 for 16, 47 yards, and one interception and 0 touchdowns. What's just your overall thoughts on Shedeur's performance on Saturday in his debut, or Sunday on his debut? What was your first X? What's your thoughts?
Um. Just if you look at the numbers and didn't look at the game, you will say it was terrible. But he had a although they had the lead, but if you think about it, he had an uphill battle that he's had an uphill battle he's been dealing with all season. And come to find out that he had zero reps with the first team. He can't build a rapport. Even what one of his old linemen even said they was trying to figure out his cadence. So, like I said, it's looking like they're trying to set him up for failure. But now he is the starter for this week against who they play this
Raiders.
week against the
Raiders.
Raiders. So I'm expecting him to be well prepared and to play a lot better. Am I gonna say they're gonna win? I'm not gonna say they're gonna win, but I'm also not gonna say they're gonna lose. So it's just one of them games. I think he has to, and it goes back to his days at Colorado. He's holding the ball too long. He's taking a lot of sacks, unnecessary hits. Like I said, the rapport with the receivers isn't there. You saw some timing issues, and the offensive line has to be better at blocking. His cadence shouldn't have anything to do with you protecting him in the pocket. Um, but other than that, I feel like we got a glimpse. But like you said, coach, there's nothing to write home about. I feel like this week coming up is the real debut for Shedeur. So I expect to see. I'm not gonna say great things, but I expect to see good things and especially better play than what we saw for the final 2 quarters of that game against Baltimore.
All right. And what's your thoughts, Mallory?
I think I think I saw. So from what I saw, it looked like I think one or two I saw that was important passes the receiver should have caught.
Yeah.
But that isn't important. Like, we knew something like this was going to eventually happen. So I'm just trying to figure out, you made so much money off his jersey. Why would you not have him prepared? Now, mind you, I'm not like a football guy like y'all. He was the backup. The starter is um Daniel Gibson, right? That's his name,
Oh,
right?
Dylan Gabriel.
Dylan Gabriel. Yeah,
Or, I'm
Dylan
sorry.
Gabriel.
So he's the starter. So I don't understand why the backup wouldn't be fully prepared, because both of them are rookies, and it's a good chance that, especially in any NFL game, but especially in the AFC North, like, why wouldn't you have him prepared? So just in case he has to play. I don't understand that. It's like you set yourself up, not just him, you're setting yourself up to not succeed, because there's a lot of money involved. So you do know this is going to be one of the highest rated games when they play the Raiders. So I would have, if I was on the coaching staff, everybody would be on. It's almost like they Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like, they got one of the best defense in the league. I mean, what we talking about? Like, all he has to do is maintain and not lose the game. You know what I mean? We all know they have to, for one thing is, okay, cool. You want to be the hero. I get that. That's how you play. Your actual professionalism is going to learn how to manage the game better. You know what I mean? To get where you need to be so you can get a field goal, or you can get the defense to dominate, because that's what it is. Until you get the confidence and you get all the knowledge, you get everything you need to necessarily move forward, just maintain the game until you know for a fact that you can go ahead and you can do what you need to do to save the game. I just feel like people are getting paid a lot of money to do a job, and it ain't just him. I feel like they just didn't have him prepared. He should be somewhat prepared just in case the starting quarterback goes down. I just don't
Yeah.
understand it. Maybe y'all can help me with that. So it wasn't just Shedeur that seemed like he didn't look bad. I feel like everybody did, because they should have been more prepared. We knew eventually something like this was going to happen.
Yeah. I think I loved it, because you know what? Because now we've got to a point where we can actually talk about the game instead of talking about certain body language, a certain type of how they are. And I remember when Shedeur went to a car dealership, they interviewed him at a car dealership. They're like, well, why is he doing there? It's an off day. Why is he at this local high school? It's an off day. Just
Right.
let it rest. And even Rex Ryan, to his credit, was talking about the whole situation with him sitting on the bench, and oh well, you need to be, be with Lamar, do a handshake with him at the end of the game. If Lamar wanted to be there, Lamar would have sat on the bench just like LeJohntay Webster did at the end of the game. But I digress about that. But um, and this is the thing that kills me about everybody. They're like, well, backups they don't get first team reps. But Dylan Gabriel got first team reps when Joe Flacco was QB1. So and this is the whole thing of, oh, you don't know ball. Yes, the fuck I do. Because
Okay.
at the same token, there's people that's in that organization day in, day out, have been telling you what this young man has been doing the whole time. Like, if you gotta be locked into these people in Cleveland. They will tell you, they was giving you charts of what guys were doing day in, day out in training camp. Joe Flacco was doing this, Kenny Pickett was doing this, Shedeur was doing this, Dylan Gabriel was doing that. So even when you traded Joe Flacco in the division, which I don't understand why, we still, that's a bridge over the water. But even after that, Shedeur should have got some snaps. And that people and we're not talking about he will get 50-50 snaps. We know that's not gonna happen. But if you get 20 snaps, Shedeur should get like 2 or 3, like maybe, a little bit, just so you can get it, because it showed in that game. And of course, people are gonna be like, there's gonna be when we talked about it, I think a few weeks ago, them people that live in their grandma basement eating Popeyes gonna be like, oh well, those drop passes are indicative of him not having chemistry. The Jerry Judy drop. That could be all those. The dropping people forget on that 35 at the 25 where he connected with Gage. I guess his name Lavardi didn't the number I forgot for that touchdown. The guy was in the end zone and he dropped it. That's called reps. So the timing is going to be off because you don't work with them day in, day out. And of course, people will be like, well, that's no excuse.
It's not an excuse.
It's not an excuse, but it's the truth. It's just like, okay, that's just like, why do you have a raincoat? Because it's raining. You knew it was going to rain. You have an umbrella. So you think I'm gonna go out in the rain with just a t-shirt on?
Right.
That's being prepared. You didn't give him an opportunity to prepare. Now we can make that. We can talk next week if he just as bad as he was this week. Yes, because hey, at least he has a full week of practice. You're gonna see something a little bit more sharp and a little bit more crisp. I think people gotta really realize this is like a microcosm of life. You have to have reps in order for you to do good at whatever you do in life. Whatever you do in life, you have to have reps. It's common nature. Like people just make football like this, like it's just this scientific thing. It's reps. Everything reps. Like everything requires reps. You gotta have something because so the drops, you see that. And once he can clean it up, once he gets to work with Jerry Judy, why he can work with all these other guys. And that's all it is. And he will clean it up. And like you said, and that my biggest issue too is him holding the ball for a long time. And we've seen that a lot in the preseason. But and it's gonna clean up. And that's pretty much what Kevin Stefanski's job is to do there. Is to clean up and develop. But guess what? But it don't matter because Kevin Stefanski could be gone January 5th. So it don't even matter. Just to me, for Shedeur, put up good film. If they don't want you, hell, put up good film. Somebody gonna want you because the way this quarterback market look in 2026, and this is the best time to have a top 5 pick. And you got a franchise quarterback. So, Commanders, we're up for business. We want multiple draft picks. We want 2027 assets. So I know you want a quarterback. We open for business.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I just don't understand how you have a starting quarterback and he's a rookie. You had 5 or 4 in the beginning of the season. You traded 2 of them. So you got these 2 rookies, and it just doesn't it don't make sense not to have the one who's actually the biggest star on that team. Myles Garrett is. We get it. He is that one, but the one who's really, really bringing money into that place to have people talking about the Cleveland Browns is Shedeur. Like, it's almost like a reality show. Like, you're making a lot of money off of him, and you don't have him because he has your jersey on, regardless of what you say, has your jersey on. You didn't have him prepared. And the thing of it is, it's one thing. It's a lot of quarterbacks that look just like him and made some mistakes or whatever, just like what he did all seasons. I've seen plenty of them. But then you go into detail and you like, he didn't have reps with this or this and that. And I'm sitting here like, this don't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me.
But him not having any reps with the first team, that's on the coach. Like
doesn't make sense.
You got to know at some point in time there is a possibility because football is a violent and physical sport. I don't care how much they protect the quarterback still gets hit. So the fact that you did not have this man take first team reps, even if it's just 2 or 3 out of 10, he should have took them.
Yeah.
The fact you had him unprepared, it's everything. Like, just is all bottled up into one big mess, and it's just snowballed.
Yeah, right. Yeah, And like when they traded Flacco, it's probably been like a little over a month now. So if you would have got him in a situation where if he took at least just be generous, give him 3 snaps a day, doing first team snaps, that makes a world of difference. And okay, oh well, I overthrew this person, but I forgot this what he wanna have it right here, or we need to do it like this, and because it's timing. And then it's like it's like I don't understand how people think that you're gonna go into a game and just like it's it's the intricate details. And people just don't understand that type of stuff where, oh, well, this person was supposed to do a dig and he's going 8 yards. Oh, shoot, trying to do all that all into one. And you're like,
Mhm.
how you think he was gonna play? What you thought he at a 16 attempts, you thought he would go like 9 for 16? You thought he would go 10 for 16, 11 for 16? Of course he was gonna struggle. Like, that's everything. That's like having a that's like it's 30 something degrees outside and you got your baby outside with no coat. The child gonna be cold. And Shedeur just didn't do it. And and I know people gonna always make, oh, you're as a young kid say, oh, you're glazing or or you're giving them excuses. No, it's the reality of the situation.
It's
And
not. It's not giving him an excuse when you hear other football analysts and former players say that
right.
when they were playing the QB2 got at least 2 to 3 reps in with the ones in practice because you have to have that mindset like anything can happen. My QB1
Yeah.
can get hurt at any point in time in the game.
Yeah. And we all knew, like you said, like Mal, you said, we all knew this day was going to come. We just didn't know when, but you are a play away from being a starter. Like, and obviously it's a process of elimination. I know we probably would say maybe like 5 or 6 plays before Shedeur get in, but what happened? Kenny Pickett's get traded.
Right.
Flacco gets injured. Get traded.
Mm,
Dylan comes in. Dylan gets hurt, and
right.
boom, this is your opportunity. So, like you said, like I said, but I'm I'm really disappointed in Kevin Stefanski. I really do like Kevin Stefanski. Like as a
Mm.
coach, I don't think he's a good coach. But this is just something that I'm just like I'm baffled by for sure. But he'll be going to Cleveland. So
You know when Shedeur came in, I was actually at the hockey game. So do you know everybody's phone? Everybody hit their phone, like, you know what I
mhm.
mean? Oh man, Shedeur in the game, like, you know what I mean? And I'll talk about the hockey game later, but it's a
Yeah.
point everybody leaves and goes out to get some food and this and that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And
Yep.
everybody was in. So like I said, this ain't you knew this was coming prepared, and then you want to because everybody's going to watch.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Right.
Like that's
Right.
another. Some people aren't prepared to have that person who has that it factor that the cameras are always going to follow, and that's a lot,
Yep.
especially if you kind of with a place where you don't want that much attention all the time. And I'm gonna say one more thing. Maybe something is also going on where a lot of these guys, these coaches are or don't want to deal with a certain type of quarterback because um didn't Chicago Bears have a different coach last year?
Hmm.
Yeah. Hmm.
And what there rumors about something about um that Caleb would be in the like he really wasn't guided or something. I remember we was talking about something. It was like he was didn't understand the offense and he would have to go into the
Yeah.
film by himself. There really was nobody there.
Yeah.
Am I?
See.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's
Because
because
Eberflus was the defensive guy. Yeah.
yeah,
Eberflus was.
yeah, he's a defensive minded coach, and Caleb needed an offensive minded coach. So
Yes.
that's why you're seeing him flourish now under Ben Johnson.
Johnson.
He needed
Yeah.
somebody like it. It was either gonna be Ben Johnson or
Cliff.
Cliff.
Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, he needed
Right.
somebody like that.
So
That's
I'm
like
just
Yeah.
maybe there has to be somebody there. Like you said, you like Stefanski, But maybe he's tired because he ended up having Deshaun Watson and all these different things. Maybe he just like, man, it's just too much of a show, and maybe he's having a problem with that too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and because really, you think about it, it's really cycle began since let's see, because he wasn't around. Yeah, that's right, he was around with Baker Mayfield was there. Matter
Yeah.
of fact,
Mm-hmm.
because that was the whole thing of that's right, because they need an adult in the room. You get Deshaun Watson because we all know essentially that's an Andrew like Shedeur selection was an Andrew Berry pick.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just one of those things where it's just like another thing where when we talked about last week as far as when the Giants got rid of Dayball last week, and
Mm-hmm.
now the GM gets to stay, and he's going to get an opportunity to hire another coach, where it's like your GM and the coach got to be locked up, like, and that's where it's like, yeah, so when you have a decision like that's split like that, that's when you have these type of problems. That's why, like, when it comes to, like, we always talk about how to build a successful team, your general manager and your coach pretty much got to be attached to the hip. Like, everything, they have to pretty much be on the same wavelength, because this shows you right there. Because to me, I didn't even like the pick in the first place. So I'm like, well, how do you get Dylan Gabriel on a Friday night, and then less than 24 hours you get another quarterback?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that makes zero sense, because that fifth round pick, you could have just got somebody else on this team, and now it's just like, but it just shows you kind of, the struggle, and but the struggle, but more so the sense of how the coach and the GM now on the same page,
Right.
and this is a classic case, and like we talk about this on the show for the longest, like, after the blue in my face. This is not hard. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
Coach, GM,
Right.
lockstep. They got they ride or die. You live together, you die together.
Right.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And what's gonna happen with the Giants? I don't want to be like a clairvoyant or or Nostradamus, but that's gonna fail again because they're doing it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll sit here next year or two or whatever, when this Giants thing about to explode again. I'll just be twiddling my thumbs and eating a cookie and be like, I told you that in 2025 it wasn't gonna work.
Right.
So, you know. Well, who do I know? What do I know? I'm right.
Over and over again.
But
It's a lipstick pig, like I said, still a pig.
Put lipstick on the pig, and y'all put trying to put a lipstick on a pig and think she a beauty queen. No, it's not. That's not the case. It's not gonna happen. It's like, I don't know. That's not. I don't understand for the life of me. Like, people don't understand that,
Well,
and it's
it,
simple.
it's a lot of it too, man. It's political, and
Yeah,
it from a fan standpoint. You
ego.
like, we paying our money and we're doing what we doing. It's like they're not doing to actual please us. It's so WWE sometimes. Like, you know what I mean? It's like they want to piss you off. They just want to make you emotional. You know what I mean? Because the Giants is basically going through the same. Look like to me almost they're going through the same thing since he's been there, right? It's basically going through the same thing since, like, I don't see it's, and I don't even know. I'm not gonna go into detail, but every team seems like they're going through the same obstacles, and they're not even my team. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, since Ben left, it's the same situation to me. You know what I mean? Defense ain't as good. It's almost every team is the same. It's like, okay, we gonna put this together, and this is gonna be new, and everybody get excited, and then you just still see the same problems. You know what I mean? So what has to change?
Yeah. It's just gonna be it's crazy how all plays out. But yeah, man, it's really crazy. So we're gonna transition to the college game. So we're gonna which This was an instant classic. I tell you, Saturdays are always a crapshoot because it's always like, okay, what's a good game to watch? What's a good game to watch? So obviously, the game that I watched was South Carolina versus Texas A&M. At first, it looked like it was going to be a blowout, but obviously, and then Texas A&M came back. They remain undefeated. Mike Elko got his money, so he ain't going nowhere. But in this game, it was a very interesting sequence that happened. And we're going to pull up that video momentarily. This is going to be a video of South Carolina wide receiver Nyck Harbor. At this point, I think the game was 20-6. Pretty much South Carolina was dominating this game in the first half, tell the two halves, and Texas A&M won 31-30. So this is a play where Nyck Harbor scores an 80-yard touchdown. And you'll see in the video, essentially, he scores, and you see him grabbing his hamstring area. So, and obviously, if you know hamstring injury or any type of injury like that, like you just keep going. So he ended up going into the tunnel. So, obviously, his teammates seen him kind of holding his hamstring, and as most teammates, brothers, are just how we do as men. We always look out for our people. So as they leaving out the tunnel, they get a state trooper bumps into them and pretty much yells at them, even though he's the one that initiated the contact. We're gonna roll that clip right here. We're gonna play it right now.
If the Gamecocks play it conservatively here, Sellers flipping it across the middle for a first down. Harbor's got great speed. The track star is free. Inside the 30, inside the 10, into the end zone. Touchdown, South Carolina. Nyck Harbor holding his leg, and he continues into the tunnel after he outruns defenders for an 80-yard touchdown to make it 26-3. That is track speed.
All right, so you guys seen the video. I try to do the best for a play-by-play perspective, but I'm gonna go with you first, X. What was your overall thoughts on Nyck Harbor essentially being confronted by the state trooper?
Unnecessary, uncalled for. You clearly see the man did something to his hamstring. He's just walking up the tunnel, trying to walk it out or something. And then as his teammates come get him and start walking back towards the field, state trooper bumps him. And the state trooper bumped. I saw he bumped number 27, but was yelling at Nyck Harbor. And do we even know why he yelled at him?
I mean, even if we did, there's really no reason to do that.
Exactly. He's a player. He has access to the tunnel. He can go. We've seen plenty of players when they hit their head on the goalpost and run. Sometimes they'll run all the way through the tunnel just as a celebration, but they're coming right back out. I've never seen security, state police, or anything do anything to another player. So it's kind of if you're looking at it, it's kind of like underlying something. So I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah. All right. What you got, Mal? Your thoughts?
So the state troop was there for security, basically, right?
Yeah, so basically, you know how I don't know if you like when you go to sporting events and you'll see like there's a cop or something and they like do security. So this kind of like almost think about like a part-time job. I forgot what they call it, like an E&E or something like that. I forgot. Somebody told me what it is, but basically he's there like security, essentially,
like crowd control.
That's exactly
that's what's pretty. It's he's
much.
there to try to deter fans from coming onto the field. You know how you got streakers during the Super Bowl and stuff like that. He's there to try to deter and prevent that from happening.
So you're there to protect the coaches, the coaching staff, the water boy or water girl, anybody pertaining to both teams. You are not supposed to be bumping into them. If anything, you bumped into them, you're supposed to say, "Oh, I'm sorry," or something like that. It is not personal. You're being extremely unprofessional. You need to be more professional. Like, why do you even have a badge if you don't know what that means? I get it. You may most likely a fan, but you got to get out of your emotions pertaining to that because you have a job to do. I'll give you an example. So, like, let's just say, like, you throwing a party, a hip hop party or something like that. You get to seeing certain young ladies looking real, real nice, and you go, "Hey, Derek." Derek gets his bodyguard or security card. "Man, you see that right there?" And Derek don't pay no attention to that and blah, 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 because Derek has a job to do. That's what you get paid to do. Like, why would you? They 19 years old, right?
Yeah, I mean, they college age, yeah. Give or take.
They kids to us.
Your job is to
Yeah,
protect,
for sure.
protect the fans and protect them. That's what your job's supposed to be doing. You ain't supposed to be going up in there and bumping it. I'm being long-winded, but come on, man. You're not supposed to be doing that.
It felt like an intimidation factor, like he was trying to, like he was trying to prove something. But I still don't understand what he was trying to prove in that instance.
And this right here took from Texas A&M and how great they played in the second half. I didn't even have a clue. All I saw was the state trooper. I didn't know that Reed was 22 for 39 and threw 439 yards. And it was they 10-0, and it was the biggest comeback in the last 20 years. Like, I had no clue about that, but all I saw was that negativity. And that's why you just do your job, because you made everything about you. You know what I mean? Or your decision made it about you, and we didn't even get it. I didn't know anything about how good this game was. I didn't know anything about them coming back. And that's why you got to be better, man, as humans and as an adults. Like, it's wild.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just it just shows you just how reckless and dumb that he did. Like, to me, that's another opportunity where, like, that's a money making opportunity. That's like an easy job what he's doing, and now you're banned from doing that. So it's kind of one of the things where you mess up your money because of what? Because they, there was no need for him to even be in that area, because, I mean, and even like you said, get out their way. They won't clog in the whole. Not gonna say if you had the whole team came and you're trying to do, but even if the whole team was coming and it was that there was no need for you to be in that vicinity anyway. But there was enough room in that tunnel where you could have just went past those three guys. So it's just like you wanted to get the confrontation. You're the one who bumped into them, and then you the one that confronted them. This is like that just goes to show you, like, that's I always look at it from that perspective of, I drank the poison, but I expect you to die from the poison.
Right.
Because you initiated that. And it's just one of those things where it's just like, that is a really scary thing when you really sit down and think about it, because it makes you wonder what else he's capable of doing. Because he did this on a game where there's camera angles galore. Just imagine if he stops you on a highway and he turns off his body cam. That type of stuff, man, people don't realize that type of stuff. Like, ego, that's an egotistical. He's egotistical. Because for you to think that you're going to be able to get away, for you to even think that you can get away with that, imagine you, this is a 12 o'clock game on ABC. The world is watching this football game. So what did you think that you were going to essentially accomplish by doing what you did? It just makes you look like a fool in the process. And I will give those South Carolina guys a lot of, I give them credit, even down to even the Shane Beamer. those kids didn't react in a bad way, and which they were in their right to become that, to be a little angry about it. But what they did was they just kept it moving. They had that game, at the time they had a comfortable lead at that time, and they just kept it moving. So I give them kudos for their composure.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing too, where I hope this is not a situation where down the line this is gonna be a part of game plan. If something happened like this, and make sure like if a state trooper or somebody do this to you, that you need to remain calm, or that type of conversation might have to be discussed in these locker rooms because of this particular incident. But you said it doesn't even matter because yes, you're a fan, but the same token, you're a professional, you're a cop. I don't care what it is. Like, I mean, you can't react because of this. Because look what happened in the game. Texas A&M ended up still winning the game. And it's like, and even you watch the game, you're like, I didn't trust South Carolina. If you watch the game, I didn't trust South Carolina. I was like, something about this, like, I don't, that Texas A&M was going to at least get back in this game. I didn't think they were going to. I didn't think Texas A&M was going to come back and win. But I knew they were going to make it competitive as the second half progressed. But it's just one of those things where it's just like, what would possess you to do that? Like you basically ruin over something that's not even really worth it because you bumped a college kid because of what? You shouldn't even been in their way. Like, and the thing, and I've even heard. I obviously, when these things happen, I always want to see the devil's advocate type of perspective. I even heard somebody say, well, it was trying to get them out the tunnel, but they were leaving the tunnel. So to debunk that devil advocate thought process, they were leaving the tunnel. So there was no need for them to confront them. They were getting ready to get back. And the only reason why we said that they were there because Nyck Harbor was grimacing with the knee injury. Even the commentator on the broadcast said he's holding his leg.
Yeah. And
then he bumps him in the arm where he's holding his hamstring at. So I just like, it's just one of those things where it's just like, it just shows you ignorance. It is a sign of the times. These things happen. That's why, honestly,
crazy.
As I say on Twitter, I will give me what the defense gives me. Because I want the defense to show me how they feel. I want you to show me how you really feel. This is a great time to be in this era because now no one's hiding their disguise their defense.
Mm-hmm.
If they're doing the cover 2, guess what? They'll let you know. If it's a cover 0, they'll let you know. Like, guess what? I don't even have a safety in the back. Or if I do a cover 1, I got one deep in the back for you. I love what the defense is giving us these days because at the end of the day, ain't nobody hiding it no more. They let you know plain inside. He's that bold enough to do this on a nationally televised game. That just goes to show you they don't care no more. It's not even masked. It's not even masked anymore.
Right.
I love it. What a time to be alive.
And shout out to the young man because when he bumped them, it almost looked like they said, "Oh, I'm sorry." You know what I mean? They didn't look like they were like,
they were composed.
It looked like they said, "Oh,
right.
I'm sorry." Like you know what I mean? Like the hell, like it's wild.
Because what he was trying to do, he was trying to get a reaction out of them. That's why I say I'm so proud of those young men for not to go off the deep end. Because what could have happened, almost like we talked about the whole Jalen Ramsey, Jamar Chase, going back to our first topic of the day, where the biggest thing was when Jalen Ramsey was hitting Jamar Chase. Because at the time, we didn't know what happened. That would have been a headline of the story if he would have hit that state trooper. If he would have retaliated back. Even though the state trooper was the one that perpetrated it from the jump. That's what I'm saying. Take what the defense gives you. The defense gonna tell you. Defense is out there.
Right.
They got their hand. Their cards are revealed.
Right.
But kudos for them to having the wherewithal to be like they didn't even phase them. Because if them kids would have fought back, melee would have ensued. And the crazy thing about that, even if that would have happened, in my personal opinion, that would have been valid because he assaulted you. He hit you first.
Right.
But if they would have, it would have been a civil war. It would have been crazy. It would have gone crazy, even though you started the fire. You started the fire, then it ended up becoming an explosion.
Right.
But the person who retaliated would have got the bulk of the punishment.
Right.
Oldest trick in the book.
So think that might have happened because I was watching the show and a guy who played for that team or whatever he tried to make it into like a joke, and he was like, like that situation might have sparked what was to come.
Now, if South Carolina would have retaliated and there would have been some fights or whatever, I would have seen that. I just think it's just Texas A&M was just a better team than South Carolina, and you read out the stats of their quarterback, which I think that could be a hazard moment for Marcel for sure. No, all it is, I know what it is ego. Hey, I'll say it once again. They don't have no more.
Yeah, they don't have no more.
They don't have no more. They show you they're in the cover zero defense. You're a fool if you don't think if you see that safety 5 yards back and he ain't 20 yards deep, you know damn well you in the cover zero. You know what the defense. So they ain't even disguising it no more.
Right.
No exotic blitzes no more. They putting you in formation. So take it. It's tongue in cheek, but if you can decode what I said, you know what I mean. It's one of the things. If you know, and most people you'll know. So,
right.
Yeah, that's all it is. Basically, it's just they have just become emboldened to a point where. Because that's what they wanted. He wanted that situation to escalate.
He just messed up a
I
good
guarantee you.
job, though.
Oh, did he?
That's
right. That's good money. I just know once upon a time, they was paying like 30 something an hour. But who knows what it is now? I mean, that was maybe 2015. Now, mind you, things have changed in the last day. Because I knew somebody who did it for the Raceway, and they were 30 plus back then. So 10 years plus.
Oh yeah.
What they be saying? R is expensive. So at the end of the day, it's expensive.
But
he bought it, paid it, yep.
A couple bars and whatever, and they're praising. Probably gonna have his own little shot. You know what I'm saying? Have some.
Yeah. But yeah, it was wild, man. I that is so crazy when you really sit down and think man, that actually really happened. And it didn't even need to happen. That's the crazy thing about it. It won't even need it.
It's hilarious.
It is, man. It's just crazy. I'm you yeah. Chris's money gone. man. And the crazy thing about it, you're gonna mess around and probably have a whole playoff game too. So you're gonna be working past Christmas. You a dummy.
Get your boy.
You think about it. Think about it. Think about it.
He cooking right now, Valley. He cooking.
Right. Think about it. Think about it. A&M gonna have a home playoff game.
Yeah, for sure.
The grandkids, they probably looking at you mad because you probably had to hook up. You just going, what Martin say? I can't go to this. crazy.
Money gone. Money, just throw your money down the drain. But just set the money on fire.
That's wild.
It is. But hey.
Gotta be professional. Man, stop getting so emotional. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Right. Because trust me, there's an off and on switch for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
30 probably about $40 an hour now.
You own
You
the
wouldn't even know what team I like.
field. Like you active.
I cut this hoodie off. I cut this hoodie in the middle if I did some Cowboy security. If Jerry was gonna pay me $40 You the hell, you wouldn't even know I'm a Commanders fan. If Jerry paid me $40 I will rip this hoodie in half.
Man. It's wow.
You crazy. You crazy.
It's wild.
I'll be working for Jerry. He ain't had no problem. But yeah, so we gotta talk. Let's stay in the college game. I guess this is probably, the best kept worst secret in all of sports. Happened yesterday. It was made official that James Franklin will be the head coach of the Virginia Tech Hokies. I think we've even talked about this maybe like a few weeks ago. But the secret's out, I mean, hey. But so we'll go around the horn, fellas. X, your thoughts on James Franklin being hired in Blacksburg? What you got?
I like the hiring for Tech. I feel like he can come in and turn that program around. We witnessed that when he first came to Penn State. He turned the program back around. But the only thing with Coach Franklin is the stigma is that he can't win the big one. Mm-hmm. Like he can't win the big games that matter the most. But as far as being able to recruit and get players in, like high caliber players to come play for you and get the most out of them, he can do that. He can turn around this Tech team, have them somewhat in contention at times for the ACC championship. So for all Virginia Tech fans and everyone in Blacksburg, you should be rejoicing right now. You got somebody that can come in, get the type of players that's needed to put you guys back at the top of the food chain. From my understanding, he has ties with or some type of ties with Virginia Tech under Frank Beamer, or was that at a different school?
Not necessarily at Tech, because I know he had a lot of ties with Maryland.
Okay. But did he coach under Beamer?
I don't think he would. I know he was at William and Mary 1 year. I forgot. I know it was primarily he had 2 stints in Maryland.
Okay.
But yeah, Ash, I'll look it up for you, Ash.
and quick, I remember, didn't his buyout contract state that he had to find a job, or was that another coach? I remember we was talking about it.
That was him.
That was him?
Okay. Yeah, that was him. Yeah. At least attempt to either get a broadcasting job or get a coaching job, which his buyout was going to be $49 million. Now it's $9 million. So now it's been reduced to 9. Penn State only on the hook for $9 million.
Okay. As I feel like this is it's a good hire by the Hokies, and I can see some good things happening. If not next season, within 2-3 years, you have to be patient because he's coming in. He's got to bring in his type of players. You probably gonna have a whole new coaching staff, so it's gonna take time. So be patient, Blacksburg. You guys got yourself a good coach.
Yeah. What you got, Maui?
Everything you said, it seemed like he's a team builder. And every place he went to, it seems like he's had success. So he's going to have success here. I think the board of visitors just approved a $229 million to go to the athletic department, and allegedly, once he got fired, 17 recruits, de-recruited, whatever it's called, um,
Yeah.
from the state. So, and the only people that seem like they're upset about this, I ran into a couple Penn State shows, and they were very negative. But and it seemed like and that's cool. Like, it seemed like he has this reputation of he can't win the big one, but at least he can change your franchise. So if he puts you in a position that you can still have success, then you get somebody in there that can take you there. You know what I mean? It might not be as hard as it was when you was stinking up the place. You know what I mean? And then, like, Virginia Tech has a reputation like it's one of those teams and organizations that is fan favorite. With their intro. So, uh, hey man, I'm happy for him. He seemed like that's what he wanted to do. One thing they said was that he really relies on his coordinators. I would like to get y'all take on that, because I'm feeling like that's what you're supposed to do in some type of way.
Yeah.
If that's what
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, that's what they're there for. Yeah, for sure.
exactly. They kind of take um they kind of relieve some stresses off of the head coach.
right, and
Yeah.
he's ACC, and it seemed like his biggest thing was he couldn't be the top team, a top 10 team. But being an ACC is a good chance that he has a good chance to win the ACC championship. So, thumbs up. It seemed like everybody's happy, but Penn State. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
They let him go. Well, they fired him.
Yeah, they let him go. Right. I mean, what you expect was gonna happen? I mean, that's what I'm saying. He's gonna go somewhere. Like, you don't. James Franklin is not gonna be somebody that was gonna just be sitting dormant and like, oh, he's not gonna get a job. I knew most of the moment he's gonna get fired. Somebody gonna snag him, especially after all these coaching vacancies now that we got.
right.
It was gonna be bound to happen. I love the move by Virginia Tech. You bring in a big name like him. Like you said, we talk about, and what's funny is we talk about as far as coordinators. Now, obviously with Brett Pry, he was his defensive coordinator at Penn State, and then obviously they end up Virginia Tech end up getting Pry. One thing I loved about Coach Pry, he really took a lot of value in the 804 area as far as recruiting. And we know James Franklin is very great in the and because and that's the thing I hate about these articles. Everybody like, oh, he's gonna do great in the 757 and the DMV. We need to start talking about have a serious discussion about the 804. Like, the 804 is extremely rich in talent. Like, he even got a guy and Tyler Warren from Atlee High School that now play with the Indianapolis Colts in the field, as far as who went in the Penn State went from. So I'm like, he's going to be able to recruit this area. I did love what Coach Pry and Coach Mines did as far as recruiting, and others as well, just to name those two, as far as recruiting in the 804 area. And I think James Franklin is going to definitely do a great impact in this area as well, along with the 757 and along with DMV area as well. Like I said, he got the roots obviously from Maryland. I talked about the 2 stints he was there, so he knows the area. He's familiar with the area. And as far as the big game wise, I mean, you don't have a Ohio State or you don't have a Michigan or this course Indiana. you're probably your biggest competitions are probably going to be maybe like the Georgia Techs, Miami's. Now, if he can't win those games, then there's a problem, you know, because at the end of the day, we talk about two blue blood programs that's always going to be good regardless. Ohio State's going to be good even in a down year, you know.
Right.
Michigan is going to be good even despite their struggles, but they will rise to the occasion. And even look at like with Indiana. This is the first time Indiana's beat Penn State like 2 weeks ago. Like,
Right.
so that just goes to show you how Penn State is they're not what they used to be in the Joe Paterno era. I put it that way before we found out about everything that happened and prior to his death. We'll put it that way. We'll just clean it up. And like you said, him rebuilding that franchise, Penn State, because Penn State was another team where we definitely think you don't even really think about the discovery in 2011 no more. Obviously, Bill O'Brien came, had a cup of coffee, went to the NFL, and then James Franklin came from Vandy, which he did a great job at Vandy. He put Vandy on the map, even though even though they were competitive when he was coaching them. I think he was there for like 3 years or whatever. So I look at that from that standpoint. So he can definitely revitalize this Virginia Tech team. So families in Blacksburg at the Thanksgiving table can at least have some type of hope that we can beat UVA like that. So it's get back to that point again. I think that's where I look at it from that standpoint. And I mean, I can definitely see the worst case scenario for Virginia Tech. Like they'll compete for ACC championship, going to the playoffs. I can definitely see him being in New Year's Six bowls for Virginia Tech. And, not necessarily every year, but at least every other year. They're going to be competitive in the ACC. And that's the thing about the situation. The competition level is not like what it is in the Big Ten. So, and, Penn State is still a blue blood in college football, but not the blue blood like what they once was. And going to Virginia Tech is great because even though they have a tradition, obviously you think about they really haven't, as far as this their first kind of best height since they've had since Frank Beamer. So you think to yourself, he's been going 10 years now as far as coaching, and now you bring the guy. And I know they wanted to bring the prodigal son back, but I think this is the best move for them because James Franklin is to me is the better coach, and I love it. And like X, he'll be the belle of the ball in Charlotte next July. So, so it's gonna be a little bit crazy. So you just how your Pop-Tart ice cream ready. So but yeah, it may not be like Bill Belichick but he will be the belle of the ball.
Yeah,
unless Florida State do something crazy and unless Lane Kiffin, let me say, hey, let me do that alone.
Coach Prime.
People in Oxford, Mississippi, get ready. They gonna you think the treatment of that state trooper gonna be something? Let me not talk about Lane Kiffin in Oxford, Mississippi. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm trying to live.
Yes.
But that's gonna be. I cannot wait till all the dominoes fall for that in the next few weeks. Like I'm telling you, the lead up to now to the end of the year and this coaching carousel, man, it's gonna be as a kid say, chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Because because if he do another, dude, if he leave, man, Lane Kiffin, man, this might be worse than Tennessee if he do that. When he left Tennessee to go to USC. But all I know is I can't wait till we break this stuff down in the next few weeks.
You're
it's gonna be crazy.
The guy from I think he was coaching Notre Dame, was in the playoffs, and he left and went to LSU.
Oh, Brian Kelly. Oh yeah, see, yep. Who gonna be his replacement?
Right before he signed the contract.
Man, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, it's about to be some crazy times in college football. Because now, because we got they would be like 9 openings, I think, at this point. Because Virginia Tech, their vacancy is done. So, I mean, it's a lot of teams and a lot of So it's gonna be a lot of moving parts. It's definitely as we been talking about this coaching carousel since everybody been fired. Like, who's gonna be next? And all the dominoes gonna fall in place, and that's gonna be so much. It's gonna be so much activity.
Oh yeah,
man, it's gonna be a very eventful winter, to say the least.
Right,
winter is coming.
Yeah, for sure. And Oxford, Mississippi, for sure, and Oxford, Mississippi, for sure, because
spoke about that.
I ain't trying to put them. I ain't gonna.
You didn't think Lane Kiffin was like, nah, he in Oxford Miss. I think he happy and this and that. But I was thinking to myself, I think he's done this more than once. Like, you know what I mean? I think he's dipped out more than once.
He left Tennessee in the middle of the night. The most hated man in Knoxville, Tennessee.
And what team were we talking about? Florida State? Well, or no, the Gators. We were talking about the Gators, I think, at the time. The Florida Gators, yeah.
Yeah. But now LSU opened up, because LSU just opened up 3 weeks ago. And I'm like, I'm telling you. I have no sources. I have no nothing. I am an outsider when it comes to SEC. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. Oxford, Mississippi, I hope you have a plan B. in more ways than one. Because at the end of the day, he gone. I mean, that's just me talking November 18, 2025. I say I have no inside knowledge. I don't know no one that covers the SEC, but I'm just telling you, be prepared. I'm just saying. Just be prepared. Enjoy these next 2 weeks. But I'm assuming if they make the college football playoff, I think he'll still but if he don't make the college football playoffs, yeah. Just enjoy the next 2 weeks. That's all I gotta say. I said the same thing. I said the same thing for Ryan Odom last year. Just enjoy the moments. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. Because we all know what's gonna happen. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just
business, man.
It's business. It's just life. Like,
no loyalty.
I mean, yeah, but at the same token, you don't. LSU job doesn't come around that often. Like, this ain't a situation where if it comes back around, you never know if this situation ever will come back around.
Yeah, so
there's levels to it.
So you gotta strike when the iron's hot. When a team like that, head coaching vacancy is available, you gotta take it.
And they will. I'm telling you, they will love. Hey, I'll leave that alone. But like I said, I'm not saying that he's going to go there. I'm just saying that may not be his cup of tea, but there's some other teams in that conference that are really, really appealing.
Right.
I mean, it's okay. It's okay to be with that person that holds you down. But when a prom queen is single, what you gonna do? Because that's a prom queen. LSU is a prom queen. I'm just saying, it's LSU, and like you said, those opportunities don't come along that often. I mean, obviously, as of late, you look at what we talk about Brian Kelly, Ed Ogeron, Les Miles. So yes, so that's within what about a 15? Because when Nick Saban left LSU when like 05 or 06 because he went to the Dolphins because he was at. So in a 20-year period, they've only had like 4 or 5 coaches. So it don't come around that often.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'm telling you, hey, just having an honest conversation about LSU and just you just been warned. So just enjoy these final 2 weeks. Put it that way. But I digress on that point. So we're heading on tonight. We'll do our game ball. We'll do our game ball first. Who gets this week's game ball for you? I'm gonna go with you first, X. Who gets your game ball this week?
I'm gonna give it to a team. The Detroit Pistons. They're kind of riding on a hot streak. Right, I'm not gonna say a hot streak because they are a good team. So I'm not gonna make it seem like I'm surprised, but I think they've won 10 straight, and they are current. Last time I looked at the score, they're currently winning right now. So it looks like they're about to push their win streak to 11.
Nice.
Cade Cunningham is looking like a MVP caliber player. I know I'm messing his name up. Jalen Duran is looking like he's about to earn himself a max contract. And then all the other key pieces that they got are playing good. So my game ball's going to the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, facts. And actually, it's Jalen Duran's birthday. It's his birthday today.
Oh man, happy birthday!
I'm like, bro, and I seen that. I was like, he's 22 years old. I'm thinking to myself, dude, he's only 22. Like, that's so bizarre. Like, when you sit down, you think, man, like, I would have thought he about 24, 25. He been in the league for a minute. And he only 22. That's crazy. That's insane.
And he peaking at the right time, too.
I know. That's scary. And then Jay Navi coming back. I know he coming back slowly. So see how he gonna do with his team coming back. I think he gonna do some. I think he's still be with the G League for a little bit, then come back to Detroit. But yeah,
I just hope when he comes back, he fits the team and doesn't. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Coach Abby's son.
Yeah.
Because that's the only one we recognize. Shout out to Niall Ivy, Coach Abby at Notre Dame. I mean, hey, she's a great coach.
Yeah, she
anyway, what you got?
I appreciate that, X. I already told you about Cunningham was gonna win. I'm picking him to win MVP. I love when I was like, oh, the Pistons winning. Okay, X great.
Yeah, shit.
No, that from Coach when he said about Baker Mayfield. So when I looked up his stats, I was like, damn, man, I didn't know his stats was like that. If his team was winning, he might have won MVP. The way his stats wasn't it? Like, but anyway, my game ball goes to Tampa Bay Lightning and the Canada. Let me see. Make sure I say it. I think it's Canucks. I went to my first hockey game when I was in Tampa Bay, and it was one of the coolest things. I've been to Major League. I've been to football games, and this was 3 periods, and you got like 20 minutes between each period, and it actually was a really good game when you really watch sports and you pay attention to detail of spacings and things of that nature. You know what I mean? And the Tampa Bay was winning. Going into the third period, it was 2-2, and then Canada just lit them up. The final score was 6-2. It was a trip, man. Like it was almost like watching a hockey version of rope-a-dope. It just seemed like in the third period they just couldn't find their way. It's so momentum in sports. I think that is a trip how momentum can just change everything through a whole game. And it just seemed like one bad call changed everything. I'm gonna give it to that. It was a great experience, man. Hopefully tickets was
Yeah.
$25 each, so it's $50. It was family oriented. It was real cool. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It was very, very
All right.
exciting. Really nice place too.
Shout out to the Tampa Bay Lightning, man. Yeah, we love good deals. $25 tickets. Oh yeah.
Right.
You
Highly.
ain't getting that for professional sports. So
Yeah,
it's a good deal.
a very big deal.
Yeah, man. I kind of gotta give my game ball. It's probably one of the most prolific quarterbacks in Cleveland Brown history. Definitely gotta give a huge shout out to Bernie Kosar. I had a successful liver transplant on Monday. It's funny with someone like always having these uplifting social media posts and stuff, and the fact that going through what he going through the whole situation with the liver and still having a positive impact on life and then now he's saying that he's feeling well in his post transplant journey. So definitely you shout out to Brendan Kozar, man, and get well, man, and keep those happy, motivating posts day in and day out. So yeah, definitely you shout out to Brendan Kozar.
Yeah. My cousin Jasmine used to massage him in Ohio, and she said he had multiple neck and back surgeries, and I'm talking about more than 50, like a lot, like multiple, and it's that's great to hear, man, because
Yep.
after they play the sport, they go through so many health issues, so that's great.
Yep.
And it seemed like a cool
Mhm.
head too.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. And guess what? And Bill Belichick cut him when he was in Cleveland. But guess what? He got a ring with the Cowboys. So definitely a huge shout out to him.
That's what's
One of
up.
one of the egregious things that Bill Belichick has ever done was to cut Brandon Kozar. They was killing him back in the day. If you look at that Cleveland documentary and like how they was talking about how when he got rid of Brandon Kozar, they was like, yeah,
They
they was like,
love, yeah,
yeah, you're right.
look, burn it, the Super Bowl. I remember Webster Slaughter,
He was right.
boy, my uncles, you couldn't tell them nothing with them ugly starter jackets on that they was wearing. Terrible.
Hey,
Like,
they
what
go
you?
hard though. I like though. I like all them starter like those starter jackets are like legendary. Like man, those starter jackets, man,
I like.
Oh yeah.
they go hard. They go hard.
Remember the starter joints that was kind of like had the book bag in the front.
Oh yeah, the little trapper keeper thing. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Hard.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if you. I guess I don't want. I mean, because we used to get. I don't know if y'all remember Proline.
Yeah.
Like there was like a cheaper version of starter.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I used to get like I was getting those pro. I ended up getting a starter jacket eventually, but I used to get a lot of those Proline. I got like I found this Michigan pullover that I got a starter pullover that I got like in the 7th grade. How in the world I still can wear it after all these years? After what 29 years? That's crazy.
It's just wild. You would think that stuff would still be popping right now as much as these sports are.
Hey
Yo,
Mal, you talking about the starter jacket that had the backpack thing in
Yeah.
front? It's funny you said that. I had the Chicago Bulls one,
Mhm.
and I think it was like a few years, like it was like it had to be no more than 5 years ago. Found it. I don't know how. Found it at my mom's, and just being funny trying it on because I remember I had that jacket back in the 4th grade.
That's
And
wild.
nah.
And I had a nasty Giants when it
yeah.
was. I wanted Falcons one because like the Falcons had just changed like they jersey and stuff, and Vic was just starting to pop, and I ended up getting this Giants one, but it was in cursive, and like all my homeboys was from New York when I got it. And they was like, man, when you get that from? Like, you know what I'm saying? You could tell me nothing. Brunswick flea market, B. Like,
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, I might bring out my Michigan one, especially for Michigan versus Ohio State next week. I might rock it out. I should have got me some buffs, to kind of fit the aesthetic. Glasses. I'm X. I can't add this right because we won after the playoff game. My bad.
If Tampa Bay, we was talking about going to a Bucks game, but they like $300 a ticket, and they played the Bills. They wasn't there.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep.
Thought about that. So next time, I go, I'm just gonna have things a little more planned out. So I would love to go to or something like that.
I definitely said I was gonna go to Tampa Bay one day because I heard it's like obviously prior to you going, but like I know a lot of people always say that's a nice little getaway, for sure. Yeah, like you said, yeah, because Bucks tickets are expensive. Oh yeah, NFL tickets are just outrageous.
That's wild. Yeah.
And the product game. I mean, it's cool, but I mean, I would rather just watch it at home.
Word.
For that price.
And like go to Deshaun Morgan's page on Facebook. You see all the pictures. Don't hate.
All right. So before we head on out, fellas, final thoughts before we head on out. Final thoughts and also social media and plug what you got going on.
As always, good show, fellas. Good show. Glad to be on as usual. I got the Michigan Maryland game coming up this weekend. My socials are my IG is game on media _X. My Twitter /X is X_J_SR.
All right. What you got? Mal?
Oh man, great show. I'm happy to be back. Sorry y'all be missing me. I'm trying to get there, man. It's a lot of stuff going on, but yeah, man, I ain't really got nothing going on. I'm about to rest is what I'm about to do. I'm about to rest because I really get my body and stuff right. But man, you guys been doing a great job, man. It's funny, man, to see like people that a lot of people got laid off and stuff like that. They coming to me asking me about podcasts and this and that. And they say, "Tell me what you think about it." So I got a few things to listen to. But yeah, man, great show, bro. Like, you can follow me on DC Morgan 78 Instagram, Deshaun Morgan on Facebook.
Yeah, man. Yeah, pretty much. Projects going on is to be determined. As we all know, X. There's a certain collegiate level that I always want to kind of get you to run around. So I'm kind of waiting on that, but who knows? I could be in the district, or I could just go to Louise and watch Huguenot and Louise as a fan on Saturday. I don't know. I don't know. I could be at Cat One, or I could be at Audi Field. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do this weekend, but I don't know. We're gonna figure out. So unless they let me know, like we talked about how certain. Mm-hmm.
Are you flossing?
No, I'm in limbo because I don't know what's gonna happen. Honestly, I don't know.
He's flossing. He said options, baby.
I'm just waiting for approvals. And sometimes those approvals are far and few between. Certain collegiate level types of organizations act as if like, who are you? But certain ones, they'd be like, oh, I love what you're doing. I like this, or I do this, you do that. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a ballot. Vote for this, vote for that. But then you go somewhere and it's like, I'm trying to help you. Yeah. And we talk about it actually, we already know so it's just one of those things where it's just like, I'm at a point where you need me more than I need you. And like I said, if you don't want to, guess what? If you don't want me, then don't talk to me. I just go to Louisa and just have a ball with my have a ball and watch you and Louisa play. The choice is yours. So, I mean, hey, either way, it's gonna be a good weekend regardless.
Oh yeah.
You know. But yeah, because that Region 4, the Region 4 playoffs, it's gonna be a really good weekend for Region 4 football. Because you got Verona and Dinwiddie, then you got Louisa and Huguenot. Pretty much whoever gonna win those two games, man, it's gonna be crazy. Whoever win those games, they gonna get to practice on Thanksgiving, and we're gonna have a Region 4 final. That's gonna be tremendous.
Who did Louisa play last week or over the weekend?
Who did Louisa play? Because Louisa, they wanted. All right, because Dinwiddie the top seed, they played Hanover. Verona played some team, Suitland. Louisa is the second seed. Who did Louisa play? I don't even know who Louisa played last week. I know they beat them.
Got off. He went to like near West Virginia or something like that. And had to. And he lives in Louisa, so I'm thinking that's who he went to go see play. Because it was a big game. That's why he got off work early.
Because I had to think about it, because they're the second seed, because Dinwiddie's number 1. Dinwiddie's 1, 2 is Louisa, 3 is who is 3? And I know Verona is 4. It's a 4th seed. Because I think Huguenot is a 3rd seed. Matter of fact, Huguenot's a 3rd seed.
Maybe it's another high school.
But yeah, it's gonna be, huh?
So maybe it's another high school then.
Possibly, but yeah, man, I'm telling you, because who is this now? That's Hampton and Phoebus. Louisa beat Caroline.
Okay.
Yeah, Louisa beat Caroline 42-7. Yeah, they beat the mess out of them, and then Huguenot beat the mess out of Spotsylvania. So yeah, woof.
Where's Carolina?
Oh, so they got that's gonna be the 29th. So that's it. I'm assuming it's gonna be. I think that's in Caroline County.
Okay.
I think. But yeah, that Region 4B, that's the best region in Richmond. Or I mean, at least in Class 4, man. Because I think Verona gonna beat Dinwiddie. I'm hoping we got a Verona Huguenot regional final on Route 5. Ooh, crazy. Because that's a dream matchup. Obviously being here in the area, but I definitely think. But then even if because I definitely think Verona gonna win. I think they're gonna mess around and win a state championship. I think they're gonna win the Region 4 state championship this year. I think, obviously because I think it's Phoebus. Because I know Phoebus they won last year. But yeah, man. So yeah, that's pretty much a be the weekend. Also,
I'm just looking at what Caroline was. I passed there all the time when I was going to Colonial Beach and stuff. Go ahead. My bad.
But yeah, no, that's all good. But yeah, man, it's gonna be pretty good for sure. So yeah, man. So this wraps up this week's Couch Coach Live, man. We will catch you guys next week, and we're out.
Welcome.
Peace.